Okay, so today we are with Francis Choinière. So, Francis, I heard you play earlier on the piano, but I believe you're not just a piano musician. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I'm a conductor, a composer, and a singer, and a pianist. I've
Wow.
been juggling all of these things for most of my life. Right now I'm furthering my education in composition at McGill University with Denis Brugnac.
And I believe that you're also the co-founder of the OPCM organization. So, could you tell us a little bit more about what the OPCM is and what it represents as an organization?
So the OPCM, the Orchestre Philharmonique et Chœur des Mélomanes, is an organization that I co-founded with Elie Boissineau in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So it's essentially an orchestra of professional musicians and a choir of around 60 singers that come together to perform 2 or 3 concerts every year.
And these musicians, I believe it was a way for them to have a space to share actually and to keep on playing music even though they're not uh, directly studying music actually.
The choir is made up of singers who don't necessarily study music, and they together make the bulk of the ensemble, while the orchestra we hire is graduate students who are kind of in the space between being on the job market but finishing their studies.
Right.
So we are offering them the opportunity to perform in an orchestra and have a paid position, which is kind of like a stepping stone for larger orchestras.
Right. And you're 21, is that right?
Yeah.
And Ellie is 19 years old. You guys are very young, and this is very impressive because this organization is a huge project. I mean, it's something very big, and you guys have actually, made it work just like professional entrepreneurs, basically. So, what are the challenges you had to overcome, and what are like the difficulties that maybe were in your way while you were trying to get these things working?
Well, managing the OPCM is not just the music.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie and I have so much extra work to do that we can't delegate to other people because we're not a full, massive corporation or established orchestra like the OSM.
Right.
So we have to do everything to the tiniest detail, like the graphic design, creating the posters, doing all of the financial parts. So it's very entrepreneurial as well. And so we have to face all the challenges that each of these individual tasks would have to face. So financially, we have to make sure that the budget fits, even though it's very hard as a musician. So we have to find our way around.
Right. And you're talking about the budget. What's an example of a number of the shows that usually require typical budget?
One concert can cost around 25,000,
wow.
including paying musicians, renting the hall, paying for scores, all of those things.
Right. And the fact of paying the musicians is something that is important for you, right?
It's hard to make a living as a musician.
Yes.
And we really respect the work and the time that it takes to develop this skill.
Absolutely.
So we really want to help musicians make a life for themselves through their passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very important because you're a musician yourself as well, right? And so, talking about the fact that you're a musician and that you love music, and that the fact that the organization has Meloman in its name, tell me a little bit about your experience. Like, how did you get so entangled with music, and where does that all come from?
I started at a very young age playing piano, but at the same time, I was always taking singing lessons.
Okay.
So I was really mixing both of those when I was young. And then I ended up going to Face High School downtown in Montreal, which really opened me up to a lot of music. So I started singing in choirs there, and I ended up singing for 14 years. And so I was really exposed to the choral repertoire, which is really what I wanted to continue when I started the OPCM, to mix choir and add an orchestra to this.
Now that you're, full of projects and that you guys are doing a lot of shows and the organization is actually growing more and more. What do you see for the future? What would be your vision of what the OPCM is going to look like in a few years from now, for example? What would you like the OPCM to aim for the future?
I would like the OPCM to be an established professional ensemble recognized
Right.
at least nationally around Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We could do tours and expand outside of Montreal.
Of course. That's a beautiful philosophy, and I think it's very inspiring for these youths that are going to be watching us today. So I do wish you the best for you guys, for your organization. We're going to be supporting you guys because you are very talented people. You're very talented young artists. And the musical experience that you bring to the public is absolutely breathtaking. And I believe that is something that needs to be talked about and that needs to be promoted. So we'll be there to support you. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It was very inspiring. And so, once again, this was Francis Choinière from OPCM, 21 years old, artist, entrepreneur. Thank you so much.
Selon moi, la communauté Mdex, en ce moment, elle est en train d'explorer une polyvalence et une versatilité qui va la mener à englober une grande partie de sa communauté pour aller chercher des projets un peu plus pluridisciplinaires. Donc que ce soit dans l'art, que ce soit dans l'entrepreneuriat, que ce soit à travers la promotion des talents des jeunes, à travers cette promotion de la jeunesse, à travers cette philanthropie et cette générosité qu'a Dr Bakwa à soutenir des projets, des initiatives comme ça chez des jeunes de notre communauté. Donc ça fait en sorte que l'entreprise Mdex va montrer un visage qui n'est plus seulement de l'ordre tout simplement corporatif ou encore scientifique ou encore l'expertise dentaire qui a fait la renommée d'Mdex dans le passé. Aujourd'hui, on va toucher à des choses qui sont qui ont une touche plus organique, plus authentique, plus humaine. Donc ce sont des caractéristiques qui font déjà partie d'Mdex, mais on va encore plus les promouvoir, encore plus les mettre de l'avant, de manière à englober cette communauté et de se ressentir comme une vraie famille, comme un microcosme. Voilà.